Hello everybody. So in this video, it's just a compilation of my Instagram from the road stories. As you know, these are very raw, all sorts of wind noise and various other issues. But I thought, what better way to kind of relive some of that and make it available for those who weren't following along every day or are new to the channel, new to my photography, than just to pull all these together in kind of one travel vlog log of sorts. So these are from Oman 2021, right over Christmas and in December. And I hope you enjoy.
Alrighty, quite a tight connection, only about an hour in Dubai. So just got through security, we landed on time. And on my way to the gate, so it looks like I will, knock on wood, make it with about 10 minutes to spare, which is good. So it's such a big airport, you just never know where you're going to land or how to reconnect, which is always a little bit bad, especially because you have to go through security again. But looking good. Alrighty, I'm in Oman. That was painless, even though it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Got my car, got my SIM card, and now it's time to figure out if I go straight south or if I head along the coast and where I'm going. Alright, found my tiny little car, but it's 35 bucks a day, which is perfect, and I'm not going to do any off-roading. But always go around, take video. It saved me hundreds of dollars. So I always take photos and then a video walk around. Alrighty, 5 a.m. Luckily the roads are completely empty, which is fantastic because the first hour and a half driving a new car in a new country and everything else always absolutely kills me. Refilled, got some gas, and most importantly, because it's the desert, as an Arizonan, 2 liters of water as well. That's the one thing that whenever I'm driving anywhere desert, even though it's cool here right now, very first thing I always pick up is water, and make sure I always have at least a liter of water in the car in case it breaks down. Who knows? Just one of those things that is essential. So now I've decided that I will head to the coast, which is retracing a little bit of what I did before. But I have 9 days, only had 6 last time. So there were some areas that I sped by before, and I'm going to go and try and find a hotel in one of those. There's really not much tourist infrastructure outside like big resorts in 1 or 2 locations in Oman, so it's a little bit interesting. Oh, it's a gorgeous sunrise. Gosh, I can see it now though. Trip was real good up until Alex got nibbled on by a dog and then proceeded later to get attacked by a jackass. I am tired, but this is beautiful. Good morning. Oh, sunrise just as I reached the sea down here, which is gorgeous, cresting there and then lit on the mountains behind. Let's see if I get attacked by this donkey. Well, I thought it was too early to do some photography, but oh look, some fishermen coming along the rocks. Found this with the morning light, too good not to do a long exposure, so let's see what I get. Had some company. What's up, guys? Hi. Hello. Whoa, don't be scared. Off into the sunrise. Tiny little town here. I actually think I stopped here last time, but not down here at the beach, at the harbor. One of the things that's really nice, one, everybody's so friendly, so nice. Everybody speaks English as well. And I guess 2, for whatever reason, all the shops have it marked in English as well. I don't know if that's because so many of the workers are Bengali or from other areas, but makes life easy. Already was able to check in early, which is nice. 30 bucks buys me private downtown. Not terrible, not amazing. So now to sleep, because I think I got about 3 hours of sleep, and then find food. So as I said, all of the shops have English and photos, which makes it super easy. Okay, that ended up being a little bit more adventurous than I intended. Wandered into a little, very local Bengali shop and ended up with rice and curry chicken and then lentils and greens for $3.50 with the water. Show you what I got. But it was all warm, looked good, so hopefully no issues. Just had some Bengali food in our super local place. Fancy some beach volley. And then down at the beach, just walked through the old new bazaar, which was super touristy and lame. Not touristy, but kind of rebuilt. And then that's the old lighthouse over there. Huh. Already had my meal, found my way down to the beach area. Famous lighthouse here in Sur. It's quite cool, pretty. And a few seagulls. That is a lot of birds. Should I go run through them? No, it's hot. It's way too hot. Pretty cool. They filled in with boards through the entire boat so that you can have the net, and then they stand holding this so that they don't fall off. And then you boat launch with one of these old Nissan or Toyotas straight into the water. How random is this? Some sort of leftover monument as they're building new construction around it. But a little bit out of place, unless it was used. Stopped because this door is so interesting. The street is ugly as hell. They're in the process of renovating it or doing something, but it's rough. But this old door, very cool. Now that the sun has started to set and it's cooled off, whole city's come alive. All the shops have opened. Everybody's down here on the beach. Quite nice. Whole different feel. So because I'm walking around and didn't feel like driving, and I've been eating so much, needed a little bit of a walk, I left the camera gear at home. But you can see some of the old fortifications here. Last visit I photographed from up there. Just continuing my walk down. That's the old harbor there. Defensive towers. Some old style boats. Oh, one more recent party boat, I guess. And the other a little bit more of a traditional style. But he drives up, honks. Most of the Omani don't like to come in, actually. They just kind of drive up, honk, and then take out. That looks good. We'll be full. Shit, I spoke too soon. Got some of that. Let's see. Oh, it's good. Mild. Yummy. Oh. Just ordered breakfast, but I have to admit, I couldn't understand what he was saying, so I don't actually know what I'm gonna get. So let's see. Alrighty, that's what I ended up with. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Looks good. So funny. American radio. This could be Southern Arizona with camels. It's weird. So that's the northeastern tip, and then all of these holes are presumably little turtle depressions, turtle egg nests, and then there's a bunch of old turtle eggs sitting around here. This area is famous for turtle nesting in the evening, which is quite cool. I don't think they're really doing it right now, but I will see. Maybe spend the night here to check it out. This is pretty cool. These little pink purple shells have colored this whole section of the beach. It's like a school of them, except for no school. So it's off season, which means there's not really any turtles around, so I don't think I'm gonna bother with that. I've been relaxing a little bit. A lot of birds in the air down there, so I'll check that out. Unfortunately, because of the turtles, all the beaches close from 5 p.m., which is a little... Whew, this old seabed is something else. It is just so jagged and rough. That's basically what this entire tip of the Arabian Peninsula is made out of. Looks like Mars. It is just so gnarly. More of these great little pink shells. That's nice. Ooh. Look at how cool this old fossilized reef is. You just see all the patterns and the textures. All the way off. these guys. I forget what they're called. I want to call them zebra limpets, but it's probably wrong. In here among all of the oysters. And then there were some little tide pool guppies that were up walking on land in between the different pools, which was also quite cool. Not something see regularly. I've seen them in mud flats do it, but I've never seen it actively, a big large group of them. Oh, there they go actually. Can you see them there? A little bit maybe? Up there? Huh? Boat going in. Sorry this is so windy. Wow. Oh, clever. Nice. Waits for the water, then is he gonna pull it again or do they push it? I wonder. Oh, this is gonna be so windy, sorry. No. Well, maybe they'll push it, I'm not sure. I don't know if they go out for cuttlefish or what they go out for at night. No, it took it off, so I guess now they push. Alrighty, it's 5 o'clock, so I have to get off the beach, unfortunately, but oh, that was so beautiful. Tried to photograph some of the birds. Tried some long exposures as well of the rocks, but yeah, waves weren't quite right. And let's see if I got any of the photos of the birds. There's still about 40 minutes before sunset, so I can't photograph the beach. There's no mountains down here, but I'm gonna go see if I can find one more shot. Otherwise, Merry Christmas for everybody who is celebrating back home, and hopefully you are enjoying. All right, I drove about 5 minutes to the other side, and there are some mountains actually here on this giant salt flat, estuary flat. I don't know what it is. Some really nice different layers there, so yeah. My little putt-putt. And I came up because I wanted to try and get some of the light across the estuary here. It's pretty. The landscape here is just absolutely nuts. Actually, a lot like southern Arizona and northern Sonora. Sorry if this is super windy. Now it's time down here on the main drag to find some food of some sort. All these restaurants and shops. Already got a roti and biryani with mutton. Some nice sauce. And I'm getting my greens. Should definitely fill me up. Alrighty, I'm about to kick off again back here in Putt Putt. My little car that shifts has a weird automatic transmission. Crazy amount of condensation on the car this morning. We'll see how it goes. I wanted to go farther south, but there's just this big gap really where there's no accommodation that I can see to book. May have to try and walk in and just see if there's places, but they're just not on booking.com, or if I have to backtrack or what I have to do. Otherwise it would be like a 6-hour drive to get to the next batch of hotels, which is not so good. So I may do less of the interior and less of the south than initially I'd kind of hoped for. Still, there's a big desert to check out and lots of coast, so let's go do it. Another quirky thing, so my hotel was here, and this is actually a old runway that they've abandoned and now started to build up on either side of and develop. So yeah, cruising down the runway. Some beautiful cliffs along here. Cormorant down there. Oh, I needed some breakfast, so I stopped at this place that seemed fairly busy, and the only thing that they had was a burger. So I went for it, and it was as bad as I was worried it was going to be. Yeah, oh well. So reached, I think, what must be another regional kind of major city. It's a lot bigger than all the others except for Sur, and it has a beautiful port that has all these traditional dhows in here. It's quite cool. And a very full harbor. Found a new spot and ended up with this amazing dish. This looks really, really good. Ooh, a lot to eat though. Found a very authentic place, and there is no silverware. So, gotta do it like I do. Well, that was a bit more of a meal than I anticipated for $3.38 with the coconut water. More than made up for the lack of utensils. Also, what you do is you have this wash stand that's in all the restaurants. Post a photo after this where you wash your hands before, wash your hands after, which is perfect then for eating with clean hands. Who wants to go for a little bit of a walk? I'm sure it's no problem. Pretty cool. Not something you see, So I came down to this part because I was hoping for some fairly pristine dunes and something a bit different that I could still kind of get access to off the road. What's cool is that now I've kind of gotten down to these dunes. It's been a little bit of a schlep, but in between the valley you have these sandstone kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, beds right in between that have really cool textures. So we'll see, but so far so cool. I suppose you can't get much closer to the dunes than that. Let's walk up and see if it's any good. All right, starting to get what I'm looking for. Pretty clean. There's a little putt-putt waiting for me. Pretty good access. Again, not too many shots and the light's rough. A lot of the dune photos that you see, actually, they've edited out a lot of these little bushes and stuff like that. So you get this, what looks like really clean dune when it's a lie. I don't do that, which means I have to search extra hard. And given that I can't go out into the heart of the dunes, I'm all foot powered. That gives me a little bit less options. Went from the dunes to driving through this or even flatter and more empty for the last 30 minutes, and it is so empty and so boring. Well, that ended up being a much longer day than I intended. So the first half was quite good. Wandering, everything went well. But then it turned out that the reason that I couldn't find any accommodation down there is that basically everybody's living not in kind of cemented buildings, but different types of places, and no hotels. So instead of going an additional 150 kilometers south, decided to loop around and then come back up to the area and by the desert that I want to spend more time on. But it ended up just being longer and longer and longer, and it was so flat the entire time with absolutely nothing of interest the entire way. So I think I drove 500 kilometers today. Finally got to my hotel, checked in, and sometimes the lack of a plan works really well. Occasionally it backfires. Today was definitely one of those long days. Alrighty, the place was a bit dirty, but otherwise nice. Now there's nice clouds in the sky. All kind of clouds. So the mission today is to book another hotel that's not too far away, a little bit closer to where I am, then get out on the dunes. This is an area I explored back in 2019 a little bit and scouted, but felt like there was still a lot of unresolved business to explore. So gonna work on that a little bit, take I think maybe 2 days here. Let's see, right? No plan, no schedule. And see, because I've abandoned trying to get into the empty quarter in the south and that area, it gives me a little bit more time up here. Maybe I go back up to the coast. Don't know. The dunes in this area used to be quite a big trading area. So there's a number of castles, some that have been restored, some that haven't, through here, which is pretty cool. Well, we got the dunes, we got the camels, we've got a very unattractive foreground. So there's actually a paved road that cuts in here, and then these are all the camps where you can pay like 150 bucks a night to sit in the dunes. But I drove in as far as I was comfortable here, and then now a little bit of a walk. And unfortunately, you know, there's car tracks because they do their dune bashing and they drive up and down it. But what I'll do is I'll scale this dune a couple 100 feet. It's gonna be a load of fun. And then hopefully get some long shots of some dune details and whatnot. Each one of these is kind of like a wave in the sand, almost like you would see on a beach from the wind. They're just a couple 100 feet tall. And then you have this kind of flat rockiness down in the bottom. So this is actually the area that's the worst for photography, but I figured it's still early morning-ish and not too hot, so I'd take advantage of it before I go down farther south. Not sure if you can get the scale from this, but going up this is gonna suck. I made it. There's put down there. Oh. And so beautiful up here. Now to cross the ridge, huh? I made it. So there you can see the next rivulet, well, whatever it is, on the top here, and then the one I came from. I fret not, I made it down in one piece, but look at this. Can't make it work as a shot, unfortunately, because of the tracks, but this beautiful blooming flower. Oh, nature is amazing. Gotta love it that this tree is just like, no, you know what, this is a good spot. And there's actually not a wild cat, but a cat that just ran into a burrow up there, which was kind of quirky. How beautiful is this? This area has a lot more agriculture in it, and a lot of these palm plantations, I guess you could call it. Very, very pretty, right next to the dunes. I got cocky. Should not have done what I did coming out here. It's mostly hard pack, but I found a spot that's not when I went to turn around because I could feel it was getting a little bit deeper and hesitated. So need to find somebody to pull me out because don't think I'm going to photograph the sunset tonight. Dumb. I did this road last time, but it must have been a little bit drier and I messed up. It was a predictable outcome, but get some help and get one of the two cars there. Then there's me, but that's where the hard pack must kind of end. That's my mistake. All right, a super kind guy came by with his wife and helped me out. Wouldn't take any cash, and yeah, we got it out of the sand, back on the hard pack. And now I'm cooking with gas, if not air, right now, again. So now I'm learning my lesson and backtracking and getting the hell out of Dodge. There's still some light, so I don't know. Maybe I'll find a more conservative spot and get some photos. Maybe get yeah, I don't know. The rest of it's all hard packed. So dumb. So I've reverted to a more sand-friendly form of transportation. The dunes are quite far and I'm in the shady part, so prospect of me making it up there in time. All right. Much better than I expected, to be honest. All's well that ends well, as the old saying goes. That is magnificent. Just like that, my footprints are already most of the way gone. Still nice peach in the light. Sorry about the wind. Some clouds over there, which is lovely as well. Those will be gone in another 5 minutes. Now just walking back to the car. I don't know if you can hear that call to prayer. People here have been so amazing. It was the same with the last trip. And it just is one of those things where there's so many Western stereotypes. And then already celebrating my successful day with an amazing Lambrioni. Oh, been looking forward to this. Alrighty, it's 8 a.m. after a good night's sleep. It's really beautiful and cool with some nice clouds right now. So I'm gonna go out and scout, maybe take some photos, then go back to bed. I extended again at this place, this hotel, which is really, really nice and comfy for about 40 bucks a night. So time to go back into the big dunes with the paved road that heads up to it. I'm not going to get too adventurous again just yet. Down behind me, walking out past the camels on the sand here in pursuit of clean sand. Alrighty, and it was worth it. There's this great shallow band that goes down there. Massive dunes over there. And then this is just kind of like scraggly, marked up and whatnot, all the way back here. The light's not good, but just waiting for the light. Focused on this guy here. It's nice dramatic skies. What a view. This is a pretty empty little rivulet. Wow. So this was the panorama. wanted. Dunes. Dunes, dunes, dunes. So this is what I love about photography, because I doubt I got more than maybe one good photo, if that. And these dunes are so tricky to photograph because you can't really get high to get the shadows and stuff like I did in Colorado. But I would still be in bed napping. And probably wouldn't even be trekking out here into the dunes if not for photography as a muse and kind of a kick in the ass. And that's the part that I really love about it. We have a traffic jam. What's up, big girl? Hi. Ready? This is where the pavement ends. I think I found the spot. It's at the end of a little village that I can come out and feel good about parking. There's a lot of marks on the dunes because this road continues out to a camp or something. But I think if I walk a little bit for sunset, I should be okay. It's about an hour to sunset. Oh, it's gonna be windy again, sorry. And making my way up the dunes here at that spot I scouted earlier. And overcast. So I'll either have clouds or some amazing light. Let's see which way it goes. And the wind can play havoc on the long lens, but could be some blowing sand, and it'll clean the dunes for me. Wind is gonna be tough, but I found my perch for sunset. Does not get any more incredible than this. What a pristine 180. You know, I've used a lot of shower caps in my day, and I don't think ever on my head, but they work really good for the camera. Oh, we got a lot of wind, and unfortunately the one cloud bank is right there where the sun is going to set, so maybe this will pop, or maybe it's a dud. Well, 4 minutes to go. I reckon that's the best I'm going to get. A little bit of glow. That is where the sun is setting, which is the challenge. Oh, but still can't picture a better way to spend an hour. Well, got a little dust in the color, which I'll take. Oh, it's beautiful. All right, make my way back down. Garage there. Retrace my steps, at least the ones that are left. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening. Ooh. I got about half the dunes in my shoes, I think. Oh. Alrighty, mutton masala with a little bit of a mixture here. Oh, relaxing after the dunes. Driving back into the mountains to a Wadi, little oasis. But the geology here and these rocks, it's incredible. Just kind of layered earth turned up on its side. Fascinating contrast just down here in this little oasis or wadi. Water running through, and then they've terraced for the palms. Underneath these massive, this massive mountain range. Drove through fog actually at the very top of it before coming down in here, which is pretty cool. Hear the bird song? And some of these irrigations apparently go back about 2,300 years. I'm not sure if it was 2,300 years or 2,300 BC. Quite cool. There's definitely this pristine kind of calm charm that I don't know, for whatever reason, didn't fully expect. It's very relaxing, soothing. Wow, there's this peak in the distance that is just absolutely magnificent. This jagged tooth. You can kind of see the layered light on the back side of it with the clouds. It is massive. So I was a bit captivated by that mountain, and I decided to explore. Took this winding road back down here that brought me into this heavy bit of palm. And now, isn't that straight up? So when I said back road, what did I mean? Well, this is the road to get out there. Would explain why it seems a little bit less well discovered. This is a 2-lane road. I just can't get enough of lamb biryani. So good. And even some vegetables, keeping it healthy. What? There's flamingos. Flamingo, flamenco, flamingo, flamingo. Ooh, your mileage may vary on hygiene in some of these places. That's nasty. The rest of it's okay. Ooh. Kind of reminds me of a frat house. Like, so much space. I'm not touching that. All right, on my way up to this tower, which has a view out over all of Sur. Took some nice photos from it last time. Wasn't gonna repeat, but with the clouds and the sky already starting to get interesting, I figured, you know what? Why not? Let's give it a go. Different gear, different setup. No, same gear, same setup, slightly different lens, but different weather. That's all that matters anyway. You know, I think 80% of the stairs that I've climbed in my life have been for photography purposes. Only 20% were in my normal day-to-day. I swear, everything is always at the top of a set of stairs. City's starting to come into view. Quite breezy. Normally this would have people, but because of the weather, they're hiding out. So, this was the reason I decided to climb up here. Light and high tide. It was low tide when I was here last. And a handmade shipyard where they're creating dhows and related boats out of wood, which is pretty cool. Plus the one that they hopefully didn't make. Wow. I just realized I couldn't figure out. See, there's a sheen underneath the dock. And that is a huge school of fish, actually. You can see the little flashes of light in there. It's amazing. So they're schooling right here in the mouth of the estuary as the estuary fills up. That's where I saw the flamingos earlier. I'm trying to find another spot to see them. I'll look for them tomorrow morning, I guess. And, wonder what those are. I'm surprised they're not going for it for bait or whatever it would be normally. But, I guess I'll get the tripod out and start doing my thing. Well, there's some color. Real beautiful layered light back there on the mountains. Some clouds. Omani architecture uses this flat white structure, which I believe I was told was decreed by the previous sultan, but I'm not sure. Light kicking off now. Oh. Oh. We got color and light. I'm feeling raindrops. And there is a big storm cloud over on the other side. Who would have thought? Just a couple sporadic raindrops. I dropped my gear, and now it's time to find food. What else? So I revisited the place that I'd been at before with a massive half chicken and biryani, which was really good for 1.8 Omani Royals, which is like $4 with the drink, which is amazing. One thing maybe that's worth calling out is, you know, you guys have seen what I've been eating here, what I was eating in Thailand, where I was eating, and that I haven't gotten sick once. Just to further call out the myth that when you eat local food, that's what gets you. And fair enough, there's a couple days yet, and I could find something that gets me. But in the grand scheme of things, I've eaten quite a bit in quite a few questionable places. And those places have been the ones that actually had the best food, were a third the price of the other places. And gave me just a much. that I think often, there's this whole myth, and time again, especially in Thailand. But in general, I think people have this myth, and they're like, oh, I got sick on a trip. It's usually because they ate like a hamburger or some sort of Western food in these places where they really shouldn't have been eating Western food. If they just eaten local food, been a little bit strategic about picking the place, and had good hygiene themselves, you're much less likely to get sick, which is kind of the quirky part of it. But in Thailand, everything, even the street vendors, I ate from so many different street vendors. You guys saw the places. Here, it's been the same. A lot of the Bengali and Indian, Pakistani little hole in the walls. My stomach's been better than it is back home, actually. So there you have it. It's all of what you make out of it. Alrighty, my second to last full day. I'm heading up to Muscat. I need to get a PCR test. It gives me today to kind of explore, and then I'll just kind of hunker down and take it easy tomorrow because I fly at 4, which means I head to the airport, drop the car off at about 2 in the morning. And so that'll be relaxing. But this coastline, these flat seas kills me. I probably should have gone out fishing, even though it would have been super expensive. Reminds me, I would spend a month every year with the folks, and we'd go down to Rocky Point, Mexico, and we'd sit on the beach, and grew up working through tidal pools and thought I was going to be a marine biologist or a outdoors guide, and fishing and flat seas and beautiful water like this just makes me want to be out on it. And it's been really consistent. Every day these seas have been fantastic and flat, which is, I don't know, it just seems so kind of alien compared to the seas that I'm used to. So this is one of the Wadi. Empties into the sea down there. And then you have a boat crossing that they have rigged up here. And then I guess you can hike up into the Wadi, which they haven't interested me that much, just because I don't want to go swimming and do that side of it. I'd rather be in the sea. But it is quite pretty, quite interesting, and not the desert you'd picture. I reckon just about every foreigner in 40 square miles is here. Seen far more people Westerners in the last 10 minutes than I think in the previous week combined. Love these goats running around the parking lot though. Anyway, I'm gonna hit the road. Not too much of a desire to go back in there. Saw these guys with the sea behind them. Had to stop and come and take some photos. Especially because I really haven't had any camel photos from the trip. So this is quite fun. And finally a backdrop I like. Here at one of the big port cities. Well, bigger in the region. Quiryat. And nice big harbor. Old fortress there. A lot of fishing boats all along the way here. So came in to try and find some food and just to check it out. So Muscat is right on the other side of this big mountain range. Though you have to go that way to get to it. That's pretty. So this is called the Flamingo Estuary. And I was like, okay, I'll come check that out. And then I thought, oh no, there's no flamingos here. And then I realized, oh, those weren't egrets. Those are 2 white flamingos, just haven't gone pink. But only those 2. So we didn't get skunked, but don't think I'm gonna get a lot of photos, especially with that backdrop. All right, time to get a PCR test here. These guys were 13 royals versus 19 at the airport for roughly the same turnaround. So we'll check it out. Alrighty, 1 in the nose, 1 in the throat for 13 versus the 19 reals, which is good. And it's not the 12-hour, 6-hour, although it seems like it probably will be anyway. It's a 24-hour, but because I'm here a little bit early and because of the flight time, that gives me ample time to do it. So now I just need to find a hotel and relax. Alrighty, that was a bit of an adventure. Found a hotel. It actually ended up being a hotel I stayed at when I was here in 2019. 40 bucks a night. It's clean. I will be here for my early morning flight, assuming everything goes smoothly. Oh, finding a hotel in Oman that will take a credit card is such an exercise in patience, which is really crappy because, of course, I'm trying to budget down and not end up having to pull out more cash, which is expensive. So it's been this like mixture. So these guys do, even though it's a bit more expensive. But that now means that I have a surplus of cash because the test I did, I was able to put on the card. This I was able to put on the card. Should have been smart and split it half and half, which I did not do. But now I can chill, go down to the beach, which I'm closer to, which is good. And I was going to be reminded why I avoid big cities like this. Driving around and just the general interactions with people and everything else are just so much more annoying. And it always leaves kind of a mixed taste right at the end of a trip. But now I'll relax and enjoy and eat. Maybe I'll go see the mosque. I probably should, which Oman is quite famous for. But I don't know. Not that interested. But yeah, now I relax. A bit of a construction zone, but made it down to the beach from the hotel. Quick little walk. Time to sit, relax, enjoy. Only 2 of these left. And some food. Not the prettiest beach in comparison, that's for sure. Oh, but it's almost goosebump wise, like probably 20 degrees. Well, shucks, this light makes me wish I brought the camera. I remembered this beach was not the most photogenic, so skipped it, but I should have known that the light was going to be amazing. Look at that. Oh, all the fishing boats pulled up. Ooh, I can't walk steadily. How do you launch the boat? Well, just like the other days. Use the Nissan, just push it, or the Toyota. Give it a little love tap. She slides on down, out to the sea. Well, now they're talking. It's almost ready. They were actually using some wood underneath it to move it forward so that it slid on seamlessly, smoothly. Oh, had to eat some beef masala. Those chilies are gonna do me in. Let's see how I do. Oh, but this looks so good. Alrighty, well, I head to the airport in about 6 hours. Down here for one last sunset and just soak up a bit of final warmth and sun, sound of waves before heading back to a very cold and very COVID inundated Denmark. This trip has been fantastic, much slower than my usual pace, even though it was still probably much more rapid than some. Thank you everybody for dropping a message and joining along in the adventure. It's quite fun to see the messages I get from y'all and to get to share it. As much as I enjoy traveling solo and that whole side of it, it is really, really nice to be able to share some of the moments, some of the experiences through this as a platform and get the best of both worlds. A couple of you had asked if why Oman and things like that, which I included in one of the most recent Instagram posts. Just explaining why I chose Oman, the timing, why I came back here after the 2019 trip, things along those lines. So hopefully that answers that question. If it doesn't, or there's more you want to know, let me know. And otherwise, I'll share a couple more of sunset here, I think, but have a very, very magical New Year's Eve, wherever you are. And let's hope for a very, very good travel and happiness-filled year to come. Strong breeze is kicked up. migration birds. Relaxing. Alrighty, rental car has been dropped off. Now time to head to the terminal and make my way back to the cold north. Oh, it's probably gonna be sub-zero and raining or snowing by the time I get there. Ooh. But oh, what an amazing trip. So perfectly timed with everything else going on in the world. And so deeply relaxing. It's amazing how that first week and the last 4 or 5 days, brain starts thinking of work and kind of daily life and stuff like that. And you just need that longer trip to really fully decompress and unwind and recharge and release all that stuff. Which this trip definitely did, which is good.